it's National Homeowners Month? It is. June is National Homeowners Month, and what a great topic for you to be able to discuss what you know about the market with people. Here's a stat. Did you know that 67.4% of the people in the United States that own homes are what we call equity rich? Yeah. And of the 67%, we've got 38.7% that own their home free and clear. Yeah. 38.7%. That's more than a third of the homeowners. And then there's the 28.7% that have 50% or more equity in their home. And we call these people equity rich. So if you're looking to build your database, I would definitely add a group called Equity Rich. And then I would start going into Remind, which is free on our MLS, and I would find people who are equity rich and maybe start marketing to them. That's my big tip of the day. Yes. And you know that amazingly enough, we are getting more listings this year than last year, which is a good thing. Over the weekend, y'all listed 100 homes Saturday and Sunday. That's fantastic because guess what? We're selling 102 a day. And I always say, churn, churn, churn. We got to keep it grinding. We list, we sell, we list, we sell. That's what keeps this market so alive and so vibrant. And I was doing a class the other day with Jimmy Dague, Be the CEO of Your Life. And we were saying 5 people move here every hour. 5 people move here every hour. So guess what? We need sellers. And there will be buyers. There will be continuing to be buyers throughout the years because why? Supply and demand. There's more people that want to buy homes than there are homes available for them to buy. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Moving on here, we've got an increase in the median price. Now, I haven't changed it yet. I still have 470, but I actually went in and did my own analysis because I couldn't believe it was up at going up to 475 and above. So I took in our zip code. There was 2,158 sales in the zip codes that I use, which are the Valley zip codes. And I did the single family home sales. And sure enough, there was 2,158. And when I got down to that 1,125, sure enough, there it was, right on the edge of going past 470. So some people are saying if you really turn down the numbers, it's about 479, which I don't even want to think about that because affordability is a problem, but you have to address it, and you can't just put it under the rug and not talk about it. So you really have to talk about it. And I'm going to share with you what Dave Childers of Keeping Current Matters said about that. And he put it very well. And instead of me trying to repeat it, we're just going to watch that later in the show here today. So guess what? I mean, last year we were selling 102 homes a day in May, and we did the same thing this year, 102 homes a day in May. And we are actually ahead of last year in sales year to date. We're about 739 sales. That's about 110, 115 more a month than we sold last year. 13 more a day than we sold last year. So that's good. I mean, even with the interest rates, I think people are finally getting comfortable with the fact that we have high interest rates, but they still want to buy a home. And a lot of the people that are buying homes, if you look over here, year to date, we have sold in the million plus column, 718 homes. And that's like almost 5 a day. So that's a huge number. And 17%, well, not 17%, that's a big percentage of the market. 718, I can't do the math that quickly, but it's probably about 15% of the market is the $1 million home sales. Amazing. That's amazing to me. Getting back to the median price, there's 1,083 homes, 0 to 470,000, and 24 of those were listed over the weekend. And that accounts for 30% of the market. So, I mean, I quit doing the non-home owner because I think that when you go to the title company and you're buying a home, it says, is this going to be owner occupied? And I think a lot of people aren't sure. So I'm not sure that that number is totally accurate, but it's about 20% of the market, give or take. But I just don't want to put it in print because I'm not really confident that it's an accurate number. And but it is around 20%. Last year it was a little bit more. Um, for whatever reason, prices were different last year than, of course, than they are this year. Now, let's talk about pricing for a little bit here. Where's my slide? Did I bring it over? Hopefully, hopefully. Hang on. Yeah, here it is. Hide this and put this up here. So let's talk about the median price. Now, I did this chart and I did it through May 15th. Um, and I think I did it for the show a week or so ago, and then I didn't have the show. But it was about 465 through the middle of May. And Dave Childers is going to tell you, and there's um, homeowners, oh dear, home, let's see if I have it written down. Do I have it written down? Home price expectations. Yeah, that's a .com. It's an actual website, and they are predicting that our projected increase average is going to be about 8% per year. So if you buy a home now in median price, by 2028, you will have increased your net worth by 83,000. Well, that's something. I mean, that's something. That's something that you can, you can talk to people about and you can show them. Let's put this other one up here. Move me down here. And here's how it breaks out. Now they did 400,000. If you bought a home for 400,000, okay. And the 83,000 would just go up incrementally based on the price of your home because it's a percentage. So anyway, and you show this to perhaps somebody that is a renter and doesn't want to buy yet. There's only the time to buy is now because prices are going to continue to go up. And this home price expectation uh, source is a valid source, and they have done their homework. Um, and as you can see, this is what it's done. Now I went back and I think I did one for Vegas. Let's see here. Yes, I did one for Vegas. So I went way back to 2014, similar to what they did, and I did the number of sales and then the average sales for the year, and then I did the median price. Now look, in 2014, 199,000. Oh my gosh. 2015, 206. If you bought a home in 2015 and now it's worth 450,000, you are equity rich. So when you put things in perspective, perhaps in your mind a little bit, just figure out how that happens. Well, it happens because of appreciation and principal reduction if they have a loan. So um, you can see how the prices have increased. Now we had one hiccup where the prices went down a little bit. Let's see, which year was that? 2022. We ended up at 460. 2023, then we went down to four. We went down 4%, but then we came back up 4.5% this year so far, and this year is probably going to average out to that 7% appreciation. So what I'm saying is, you can use this chart for sellers who are thinking of selling, for buyers who are thinking waiting is better. Waiting is losing appreciation and losing principal reduction and tax deductions for interest if there is a loan. And we forget about the tax deductions when we're talking to people. I think I don't hear many brokers talk about it. They say, oh, houses are going to appreciate, and a lot of them don't even say your principal gets reduced every time either you or your renter, if you're an investment property, your principal gets reduced every time somebody makes a payment, and then you get tax deductions for the interest. So overall, that 7.9%, 7% is doesn't take into account the tax deductions for interest. And that's why Kawasaki, if you know who he is, Rich Dad Poor Dad, he's the one that says he fights with Dave Ramsey and says, I think there's a video about them, or somebody put together he said, she said type thing. And Dave Ramsey says, be debt free. Kawasaki says, no, the way you get rich is to leverage everything with debt. So it's just a comical thing to me anyway, to see those two experts. And, that's what life's all about. You have an opinion, I have an opinion. I do things my way, you do things your way. my way's right for me, your way's right for you. And the fact that they're fighting about that, I think, is a little amusing. And I don't know if they're doing it for publicity purposes or whatever, but Kawasaki is pretty adamant about how he feels. And so is Dave Ramsey. Debt free, debt free. You got to live debt free. And it depends, on who you are, what you're. I think there's not one right or wrong way, is my point. Okay. So here's something that I put together. If I didn't put it in the group, I will put it in the group. And by the way, this show right now is going live on my personal page because Facebook has all these hoops and loops you got to jump through to do a group live. So I didn't do that yet, but I will. But I'm going to move this over. We'll copy this over onto the group and share it. Anyway, because my point about that is because that's where I put a lot of my collateral, like these charts and graphs and things. They're over in the group. Because it's very organized. I can put them under files and you can go get them there without going down through the feed like you would have to do on a personal page. So that's why I do that. Okay, so you've got stuff to talk about here when it comes to the market. And I want to show you, um, I have some things about artificial intelligence that I want to say, and I think Jason Pantena in this video talks about it a little bit, but if he doesn't, here's what I want to tell you. Go to, let's say, like some of these big brokers. Go to YouTube and just look up, a luxury agent in California or luxury agent in Calgary, Canada, something. See what resonates with people. In other words, what gets the most views. And then with YouTube, they do the transcript. Copy and paste the transcript, put it in your artificial intelligence tool, ChatGPT, and just say, who you are. You always want to give ChatGPT your persona. Tell them who your audience is. Tell them what the object is that you want them to accomplish, and also the style. Like I like to say, I'm a sassy 77-year-old, and put some pizzazz in this, and then they rewrite it for you, and then you can use that and do your video, and hopefully get views like the people that you researched and got what they said, and you reformatted it and reworked it and put your spin on it, and so that you don't infringe on people's copyrights. But you can take people's ideas. They're out there sharing with you, so don't be afraid to do that. But make sure that it's you give them your persona so that it sounds like you. I've done it, it works, and I think you should try it. So that's my AI tip for the day. I don't know that we can watch the whole 20 minutes of this. I did a clip of an hour video, but let's watch it, because what I want from everybody and what I want you to understand is you've got to be the knowledge broker. You've got to be able to say, and I said this in the class, I said, hey, Jimmy, um, what do you think of the market? And Jimmy says, well, what do you think? Right? Because that's what people will do. They'll say, well, what do you think? Because they think we're the experts. Well, we better have something we're thinking about. And that's why, I post this too. So you can, and I've made it a little bit space, put some more space in it so that perhaps you can say, well, up here is the active listings, and here's the sales year to date. And here's the medium price home sales, and here's the $1 million sales. And I put that little chart, the 83 or the projected increase if of home ownership. So, and it's a great tool for this year, this month especially.